Guess what, guys? We have a great show for you tonight. As you can tell, there is a CM Punk shirt in the back, and a Colt Cabana shirt. I'm wearing a CM Punk shirt. This man's wearing a CM Punk shirt. CM Punk theme music playing. I wonder what this episode might just be about. Let's take a wild guess. Maybe something along the lines of him leaving WWE. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this music, and we are going to proceed with this episode. Alright? Alright, so, thank you for tuning in. Obviously, you know what this is about. But, actually, there's a little twist to this show today. Well, tonight. We have a leaked script, personal script, in our hands, not off the internet, from Raw on the night that he actually left. And we're going to discuss with you how many changes actually they had to make in order to go around him leaving. So, Brandon, why don't you proceed, please?
Welcome to Busted Open, everybody. Okay, first off, show you the proof we're not joking here. There it is. Raw. Episode...
Cleveland, Ohio. We were there personally.
Episode 1079. And if you look at the date, January 27th, 2013. I believe it's 2014. But, as you can tell, look at the card. Segment 4 short. Kofi Kingston, Alberto Del Rio, Usos versus Ryback and Kurt Axel. That's pretty much an updated script, except for down here on this part it says, let's see.
CM Punk in-ring promo.
Yeah, CM Punk in-ring promo. Oh, that never happened. Wonder why. Ha! Alright. Here is the actual full script that we are going to get into. And if you look at the top, you are watching the longest running weekly episodic television show in history, Michael Coldline. Let's see, a lot of things had to change because Punk walked out. It said at the top, Daniel Bryan versus Ryback. That didn't happen.
That never happened.
Ryback and Curtis Axel took on the Usos. Daniel Bryan was in a 6-man tag match with the Shield. Another thing that was taken out, a segment between John Cena and Triple H in the back. Cena cuts Triple H off, says, "I want Bray Wyatt." Triple H says, "I understand, that's the Wyatts are going to pay for what they did, but what's best for business is to first make things right with you in regards to the title. We're putting in the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship." Cena absorbs news and says, "Alright, title comes first, and then I come for the Wyatts." And then Stephanie asks Triple H, "When you said the Wyatts are going to pay, what did you mean?" Triple H says, "We promised a title match with no interference. The Wyatts violated the edict. So at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, the Wyatts are going to have to deal with the Shield." And apparently that's supposed to be announced for Raw, but that's going to be announced tomorrow on SmackDown. Spoiler. Sorry I had to do that to you guys. Let's see here, what else had to change?
And that changed.
Batista in-ring promo, boring, no one cares. We were at Raw Monday, great show. Here is Punk's promo he was supposed to do in the back with Triple H. He's talking to Brad Maddox, and he says, Brad Maddox says, "Who says I don't know what to tell you? I agree. Kane's actions were completely uncalled for last night. He basically screwed you out of winning the Royal Rumble." And the camera pans to reveal CM Punk. Punk replies, "Here's the thing, Kane is a weasel, like you. He's obviously following orders from the authorities, so I'm not leaving here until someone with actual power has the guts to confront me." Just then, Triple H's voice is heard saying, "Here we go again." Let's see, "Here we go again." Triple H and Stephanie enter the room as Triple H continues, "I swear, Steph, it's like talking to our children. Punk, let me make this clear. Kane acted on his own. He's being dealt with. We empathize with your situation, but you're a big boy. Deal with your own problems instead of making excuses." Punk replies, "I'm looking my problems straight in the face. Just be a man and admit it." Triple H says, "I'll admit this, Punk. You're a very troubled individual. We want to see you succeed." Yeah, that's a bunch of crap right there. Steph, feel free to tell him what we were just discussing. Stephanie says, "Punk, despite your consistent unprofessional behavior, we value you." No, you don't. "Tonight we're giving you an opportunity to earn a spot in the main event at WrestleMania in a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber against Antonio Cesaro." Punk nods and says, "That's fine, I know I can beat Cesaro, but what do I know? But what I know is what I'm capable of doing if you screw me over again. You call me unprofessional, I take that as a compliment, and I assure you haven't seen anything yet. Punk storms out of the room. Triple H and Stephanie watch Punk go as announcers react, and then segue and then toss it to the Hall of Fame class of 2014. And they go to break and then announce that Jake the Snake enters with the Ultimate Warrior.
And then with the Cesaro match in the end, that obviously that match never happened. It was the Real Americans against Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara.
Yeah,
so I'm sure that's going to happen.
If you guys wanted to know how that CM Punk match would have turned out, then this would have been the main event. And if this was the main event, I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
CM Punk versus Antonio Cesaro, time 8 minutes, going on at 10:57 p.m. During the break, talking about the WWE app, match goes on. Kane then gets involved, causing Punk to lose, and Cesaro wins, and Cesaro gets a spot in the Elimination Chamber.
Just to prove it to him, so let's just show him it. Show him it. There it is. It's all right there. All right there. Clear as day. If that would have been the main event to Raw when we went, I would have been extremely disappointed.
No, they actually did something smart. They put the Shield against Sheamus, John Cena, and Daniel Bryan, which ended up being a great match.
It was a good match. So, basically, I think, my personal opinion, I support CM Punk with him leaving. I think it was a good choice on his behalf. As much as of a CM Punk fan as I am, I'm okay with him leaving, just because they screw him over so many times. They bring back all these part-timers, Batista and The Rock. And the thing about it, that's 2 Royal Rumbles in a row that he's been screwed over, 2 years in a row. They bring back The Rock, part-timer, let him win by a people's elbow at the Royal Rumble last year. This year, they let a part-timer, Batista, get the spotlight and screw CM Punk over again. If I was continuously screwed over like the WWE screws over CM Punk, I don't blame him for leaving. Not at all. These part-timers do not deserve spotlight because they're just going to be gone in a few months. What's the point? A person who is there every day working their ass off deserves it.
If anything, in my opinion, these part-timers need to be brought back. Guys like Jericho, which they do a great job with Jericho, but nobody else. Jericho, The Rock, Batista, and Brock Lesnar. You're gonna keep bringing these part-time former big stars back. What you need to do with that talent, obviously, who am I to judge? But this is, like I said, just my opinion, is help get that younger talent over. Get your Cody Rhodeses over. Get your Dolph Ziggler's over. You know, get your young talent who are going to be in the scene for the next 10 years. You know, not saying Cody Rhodes, I think Cody Rhodes could be in the main event if he wants to right now, but the fact that they've never done anything to put him over,
how can he prove himself?
Exactly. And, the thing is, too, is I remember Punk doing, when he first, after the 2011 Money in the Bank, and then he came back that whole, July, August, September stuff, doing promos with Triple H, talking about, and Triple H even said, you're over in this business when you're over with them, and points to the people. I don't know anybody who's more over with the people right now than Daniel Bryan and CM Punk.
Yeah.
And those guys continue to keep getting pushed back for whatever reason it is. I do not know.
You would think if they have these part-timers, let the part-timers go at it. Like, for instance, if they were to have Brock Lesnar and Batista face each other at WrestleMania, I could see that being a good match. But the thing is, you keep the part-timers with the part-timers and let the full-timers actually have their spotlight that they deserve. Because these part-timers, they go off and do their own thing, but the full-timers, they're there. They want to perform. They deserve it. They deserve good things to come their way.
Or, like I said, you put the part-timers in with the full-timers, but to make your Cody Rhodeses, your Dolph Zigglers,
to make them stars.
Yeah, get them over.
Mm-hmm.
Your time has come and gone, Batista. Your time has come and gone, Lesnar, The Rock. Like, please.
Yeah.
It's become boring and stale to watch this stuff happen.
It's just recycled.
Every time WrestleMania season comes around. And what makes this even harder for some of these younger talents to get over is now that they're starting to unify belts, They're probably going to unify the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title here sometime
Poor
soon.
decision.
With unifying the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship, now you're even taking more chances away for guys like your Cody Rhodeses, your Dolph Zigglers, your younger talent, to, you know, your Dean Ambrose, your Seth Rollins, guys who probably could make, when they become singles wrestlers, be legitimate contenders for, you know, a WWE Championship, a World Heavyweight Championship. And the problem that WWE did for the past, I would say, 2.5, 3 years is they made the World Heavyweight Championship stale by putting it around guys like Del Rio, and, you know, by all means Christian, a great performer and everything like that, but to me,
I like when Ziggler had it. He deserved it, and then he got a concussion and they made him lose it right when he came back.
I feel if they would have kept the belt on Ziggler,
It would have gone somewhere.
he would have made that belt relevant again, because he was over with the fans. You saw that crowd, the crowd after WrestleMania after he won. Ziggler at that time was more over with the fans than anybody. There was a time where, back in 2011, you're going to hate me for saying this, Zack Ryder was more over than anybody. I love Zack Ryder. I think he's a great talent. He's good in the ring. He's another talent who's once again being pushed back for, you know...
He doesn't even get any airtime.
You know, he once again was over with the fans, and now people could care less about him. But that's because, once again, WWE buried him, canceled his YouTube show. You know, Long Island
Really?
IZ.
They did?
Yeah, Z True Long Island Story, Long Island IZ, baby. A great show. And once again, WWE took control of it. I'm surprised Ryder hasn't walked. But CM Punk walking out is a great statement that he can make, because he can speak for fans, himself, disgruntled workers, wrestlers in the back, by saying, I've had enough of this garbage. We've had enough of this garbage.
Yeah.
By him doing that, I applaud him, I commend him. He is a better man, because I know, not saying a lot of those guys in the back wouldn't do the same thing and walk out to stand up for themselves and what they believe in, but CM Punk is a guy who actually cares, and I'm not saying this because I know him personally, but just, you know, I own his DVD, just from how he sounds on his DVD, he's a guy who cares about the business, who cares about wrestling, who cares about the future of wrestling.
He's he wants to wrestle, not exactly perform, but he likes to wrestle.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be an entertainer. He doesn't want to be a WWE entertainer. He wants to be a wrestler. If you notice when he talks about being a good wrestler, the best in the world at being a wrestler. Daniel Bryan talking about being a wrestler.
Not the best actor, not the best script reader, the best wrestler.
Punk and Bryan, great wrestlers, great promos. They have all around, they're the total package, but, you know, because of the higher up authority, they're not, you know, 6'6" and 280 pounds. They don't fit the mold of their vision of what the future of the WWE, the face of the WWE, should look like.
The thing I've realized with wrestling too, they like you said, they pick all these big, strong guys, but the thing is, they're not really that entertaining in the ring. When you have like Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, they're just average sized guys. But the thing is, they're good in the ring. They're good, like, just with the moves, the flexibility, just what they can do in the ring in general. They put on a better show than these big dudes like Brock Lesnar, Ryback, Big Show. Like, these guys are huge, and these are the people they're pushing or attempting to push, but they just don't have it. They're too slow in the ring. It's just I don't see a point in it. But they just go for the bigger you are, the bigger push that the company is going to give you, and I don't see a point in that.
You know, a month ago we went to a show here in Cleveland. We went to Absolute Intense Wrestling, their Dead Presidents show, end of the year show, and which is, by the way, that's where I got my Colt Cabana shirt. Got to meet Colt Cabana, great guy. Hi, Colt, if you ever watch the show.
Have the same shirt, met the guy, nice guy.
We were at the show, and it was a great show. $15 I paid for a ticket online, and it was almost a 4-hour show.
Yeah.
And it was a great show all around because it was wrestling, and guys were not big. They were just athletic, and they were good in the ring. And it was a great show. I'm looking forward. February 7th, TGIF, AI Wrestling, having another show. If you guys haven't got tickets to it yet, go for it. I highly recommend it. It's a great show.
That's good.
They put on a great show every time. It's great. You get to interact with wrestlers. you know, they take a little 15-minute break or whatever in between wrestlers, go out, interact with the fans. It's great. Like I said, they put on a good show. But this is the whole reason we made this show, was to address the whole Punk situation, and it tied into a show that we wanted to do about part-time wrestlers and how it affects.
So it kind of was a 2-in-1.
Yeah, how the part-time wrestlers are affecting these, full-timers, and these part-timers taking away spotlight from guys who deserve it, who are there all year round. So maybe this is a good thing that happened. This helps out the show. By the way, thank you again to a friend in a high place who got us that script from Raw when we were there in Cleveland. And it's funny because we were sitting out in the crowd and everyone's like, dude, no Punk tonight? Like, what's up? And everyone thought it was like speculating, oh, you guys know Punk hates Cleveland, and
Yeah,
nothing ever good happens to Punk in Cleveland. That's probably why he's not even here. We found out the reason is, he walked out. Justifiably so. A lot of people are going to say, and a lot of people are going to say, oh, he's a crybaby, oh, he walked out. No.
I saw this one guy on Twitter. He posted, I don't know why CM Punk would leave. If I made as much money as that dude, I would let them put me in any storyline they want. But the thing is, like we were talking about earlier, it's not about being an entertainer. He wants to wrestle. He wants to show he's the best in the world, and he's the best at what he does. Not, oh, we're gonna throw you here, we're gonna throw you here. He's not gonna let. He doesn't want the WWE to make him what he is. He wants to make him. I feel. At least this is what I feel. He wants to make himself. He wants to show that he is the best.
He is, but the thing is that I know where you're going with that. I think you need to say it a little differently. I think what you're trying to say is, if I made as much money as he did, I'm sure with his last contract that he signed back, a couple years ago, yeah, he's probably getting a buttload of money off his contract, and it's not about money to him. And yeah, if I made that much money, I would still have enough respect for myself.
Not just sell yourself to the show. Hey, do whatever you want with me. You pay me.
Yeah. And his problem isn't so much that he wants to, and like I said, this is just our opinion, that he wants to be in the main event. It's the fact that you're burying your top talent by bringing the part-timers in, who don't earn it, who aren't there all year round, and then they're going to take the spots at WrestleMania, take the bonus money from WrestleMania, from guys who should be getting it, guys like, you're probably not even going to see a good tag match at WrestleMania. It might be on the WrestleMania pre-show where you'll see a tag match where guys like, the Usos, who should be
in the show.
Yeah,
they're good.
I think right now the Usos should be the tag. They should have got that a long time ago, and before they split up. And another spoiler for tomorrow on SmackDown, you will see the end of the Primetime Players tomorrow, as Titus O'Neil is going to take out Darren Young. So
that's news to me.
Yeah, Primetime Players, another team that should have had the belts a while ago. But you got our opinions on how we feel about the situation.
You heard the script. You heard what was supposed to happen but did not. And if you did watch Raw, you could obviously tell what they changed.
Yes, so thank you. One more thing I want to say. It wasn't just CM Punk who walked out on WWE. Phil Brooks walked out on WWE. It wasn't just the character CM Punk. It was the man, Phil Brooks, how he personally feels of what the WWE is not just doing to him, but what they're doing to the talent. I know from in a place of where I work, if I was constantly making employees mad, and just saying whatever, I don't care, something's gonna happen. Someone's gonna walk out, someone's gonna quit. I mean, it happens everywhere. You need to be, in touch with your talent and not worry so much about, then that's the problem, is that the upper management they just don't know what's going on. One more thing, shout out to Absolute Intense Wrestling. Go see their show, TGIF, February 7th. Thank you guys for watching the show. You guys have a great night.
Thank you for watching. Like I say before, like it, subscribe, share it, comment. Do something along those lines. Do whatever. We really appreciate your view. If you are viewing this, and anyone out there viewing it, thank you. Plain and simple.
One more shout out. Shout out to, let's see, who else could we give a shout to? Colt Cabana, Marty DeRosa.
I give a shout out to JBL. We got that JBL chant going, and we got JBL to stand up from the announce table, and then I think we got Del Rio to break character and actually yell at JBL to sit down. So that was funny that we got that chant going with those three gentlemen sitting next to us. Alright, well, that concludes our show. We will have another one for you very shortly. Alright, have a nice night.